Okay, welcome. I'm going to go over the two sets of tools that our sales representative teams are going to need in order to complete the variety of sales tasks. You'll see here that I'm actually at the ONsitePS.com website, and you can just come directly to this website and log in with your personal credentials. The moment I'm logged in as Debbie Haas, I see that my sales representative has a special tag up here in the top menu, the sales representative page. It basically outlines the 3 steps necessary by new owners to be completely onboarded and set up with property management. So the first step is that they sign up and create an online profile by just hitting the sign up button anywhere on these pages, and it asks just for a username, their full name, a password, and that's basically it. When they complete that as an owner, it will automatically send them over to the management agreement, which is approximately a 5-minute form, and they don't need any special information or documents in it. And once they complete that 5-minute form, which is details of property owner and a few things about the building itself, that will send them to sign the property management agreement, which is a 15-page form depending on how you look at it, that they need to review and understand and get through, which is the big bottleneck of getting them to the bottom of that management contract and digitally signing and or selecting the option for it to be mailed so they can print it and sign it themselves and send it back in. The third one is the onboarding. It's like a 15 to 30 minute form that asks a lot of details about the property and does require the owner to have things like old expenses and property records on hand. This one can be come back to at any time. In fact, either the management agreement or the gather property onboarding form can be saved and addressed at a later date. Okay, this sales rep form has a list, and this list will include all of the property owners. Right now this is a sample, so this isn't the actual list, but your view will include the owners, and you can sort through the list by selecting, say, username or first name or property address, and if I click this, it will restructure the page so that it's alphabetized by their username or organized numerically by their street property address. I will add additional search functions to this as the owner list grows within the system. Okay, the very useful thing about this is notice that we're here as Debbie and we are in our little world here. Okay, I can come here and switch off. Okay, that means log out. Okay, you'll notice actually I can log back in to Nick Kramer. All right, this will say log back in to Debbie if you were first logged in as Debbie. And so what I can do here at the top of the screen is there's this switch to user functionality. Okay, and so if I have an owner that has completed the management agreement, but they're really having trouble getting the onboarding agreement together, I can go in and I can select by username. So I want to find out what their username is because this field only works with username. Enter a username, okay? And I can write in GV customers, okay? Hit the search. It can take a couple seconds or a minute to kind of like pull it up. And it's going to find that user. And we know they're a user because I can find them in the list here, okay? Takes a minute, sometimes clicking a few times. There we go. So I can click into GV customers and I can act in the website as though I am that property owner. So I can go through as if I were the property owner sitting at home on my computer and complete the management form, okay, or complete the onboarding agreement. You obviously can't sign the agreement on behalf of the owner, so you would select the options to email the agreement to the owner so that they can complete it through their email. And if the owner wants it mailed to them, there's the option for, just click it, and then it will get printed, and it will get automatically mailed to the owner. And see, now that I'm logged in as a different user, I'm GV Customers, okay? I'm no longer able to see the sales representation form. You can come in here as the owner, and then you can complete the property management form or complete the onboarding form on their behalf. So maybe a great way to access these things is through the owner's thing, okay? So here's the property management form. I can just click there, and inside this GV Customers user, I can make them complete that property management form, and I can ask them the questions over the phone and then just fill out the form as I go, hit submit, it'll mail them the contract, and then they complete it that way. Another place that I can go to is this owner's dashboard, which will be available to all the owner users. And there you'll be able to see which management agreements they've completed, which properties they've added and onboarded, and then if they have existing properties that need to be added to or have changes made, you can go in on their behalf, okay? So this guy hasn't completed the management agreement, so I can click here and it will hopefully open a new window which will allow me to complete the management agreement as that individual. Under the properties here, okay, like this is the onboarding form, so I can add a property, more properties. Once there's properties added in here, those property details can be edited by the owner themselves and by our representatives on the phone simply by using this switch feature function. Now, I can edit anybody's onboarding. If they can't figure out how to upload the files on the internet, then they can email them to info@ONsitePS, which will come to the second tool that I'm going to show you here, which is called LAdesk. Okay, and I've just set up this new user, so I'm just going to walk you through the steps, but I won't click through this. You can learn the basics from the program itself. Okay, you'll notice there's a variety of things going on. There's this new button, which is effectively a new ticket, a new internal ticket. Say I wanted to write Nick or the broker or the bookkeeping department for whatever reason. I can make an internal ticket, and then I can select sales department, which is the department that I'm in, but I can assign it to one of the other agents, okay? I know who Nick is in the company, so I'm going to send Nick a message, and I'm going to say, hey, I want to chat with you. And then I can just create that internal ticket and send it to our staff that way. All right, you'll notice there's a bunch of little notes and other things being taken here. Don't worry about a lot of this stuff. You'll get familiar with all the details of how this works as you get using it and watch more videos over time. Just like an email system, okay, there's add, reply to all, reply, add note. There's this new one that's not normally seen, Twilio call. So this not only does our email system, okay, here's the Twilio call button here. This is also our phone system, okay? So I can use this button to call anybody in America, and the sales number will show up when I contact people. This is actually manage 7711, which is why it's kind of funny area code, but it's actually a kind of cool number. So I can just go ahead and call people, and you can see that the call will open up. There's a keypad here where I can plug in anything. I can mute my voice so that people can't hear me, and I can end the call. The nice thing about this feature is that I can play back any old call that I have made. So it's really useful. If there's attachments, you can see them here. You can track how much time you're spending talking to people and or dealing with them via email, because I can turn this call into an email. I can forward it to somebody, or I can reply. I can send them the message, or I can not. And you know, here you can add or change recipients. You can do the same thing over here. There's just a lot of different ways to tackle the same problem in this application. It is very powerful, although it does admittedly take some time to get used to. There's a tag function here that we can use to write the property address and the property that we're dealing with. This would be the target of sales acquisition, and or we can make things like sold. Oh, wrong tag. I can delete tags and write sold, and it should ask to add it, but in any event, we'll get to a tagging system that works for us all mutually later. Okay, I can go ahead and look at some of the options down here, like a typical email. If I click HTML, it'll give me some formatting options, okay, which I might be used to. Back to the plain text. Here's the add attachment. Note, you can add attachments from your Finder, okay? You can see here in the lower left-hand corner. So I can just open up my computer and then just drag things from here into here. So it's one way to add multiple files to the message at a time, because otherwise this attachment button will only let you do one at a time. You can edit the subjects, add recipients, add BBCs, add carbon copies. This would be, you'd be mailing it from the on-site sales department. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close that. You notice here on the left says all and assigned to me. Okay, so these are all of the tickets in my world that are assigned to me. There's a way to create filters, but in general, you'll just be living in the assigned to me and the all button for your world here. You can see all is going to be in the sales department, so you're going to actually see there's a lot of sales department history in here, and you'll be privy to any of those messages. You'll notice that this internal ticket was made inside of this department that we made earlier, okay? But it's assigned to Nick Kramer. So Nick Kramer is also in the sales department, and it will show up on his computer, one ticket assigned to me, and he'll know to come in here and address any issues that you may have. Now, he may add notes to it. He may respond to the person directly. He can transfer it back, okay, to you, okay, and or anybody else that he may desire to have them take care of the next steps. There are two other really important functions that you should know about in this system. One is it also does chats. So we can see anybody that is on the website at any given time, and we can see the place on the website that they are. So you'd be able to see that they're on the sign up for management page, or they're on the owner's dashboard, or they're on the onboarding, okay? This hand button, okay, will actually send them a message, and you can see the location will tell you kind of where they are in a map, so you can be easily accustomed to where they're calling from, and you can continue with this invite. If I hit this left sales button, okay, it's going to send them a peg in their view here, okay? I'm not sure which window it was that I was in exactly, but this will pop up for them and they can chat with you, okay? So it says one chat starting. I'm trying to find the other window. There it goes. Okay, so this is their view. It says, hey, how can I help you, right? And I didn't even do anything other than click the hand and say invite the individual. So it's a great way to say, you know, hey, how can I help you? Do you have any questions about the, you know, management contract? Right? And I can just communicate with people really quickly, effectively, and easily, and know where they're from, where they're at, and what's going on, okay? I can assign the ticket to me, okay? This creates it a ticket just like anything else, but you'll see that it's a blue box running a chat version, not like the email and phone call tickets that we find in this orangey yellow gold box up here, okay? And I can invite other staff, I believe. Oh, there's no other staff online. But if, say, for example, Nick was online and you wanted to invite him into the chat so you could have a group chat, you can invite him into the chat just by adding his name here and inviting. But note, he's going to have to be online in order to be invited, okay? Then when you're done, killing people with kindness, I find, is often the most gratifying and effective solution to troubled problems. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end this chat, and it's just going to save this at a later date. It's open, and you can see that it's open because this chat was done and there wasn't a completed resolution. I can add notes to it for later. Okay, I can reply, i.e. send it via email somewhere. I can forward it, send it via email somewhere. I can make a call under this, okay? I can silent resolve, okay? That means that it's going to change the status of the ticket, okay, to resolved. Let's see if we can go back here and here's this ticket, okay, that was resolved. And in this display here, you can just see that their statuses, okay? So there's resolved, new, there's open, there's even this one with a clock on it. And at the top bar here, you can see that these tickets are accumulating here and they can be accessed as I continue to work in them. Well, I have to reopen it to mark it as answered. I wanted to mark it as answered. So I'm just going to write myself an email here. Okay, and then this ticket's going to be reopened, or it's open but it's answered. Okay, and you can see from this initial bar here, there's that status. If a ticket goes answered and not resolved for 3 days, it'll kick it back to the very top of the list, and it will make it open. And there's one more here which we can use, which is the postpone button. Okay, and postpone will let us select a day and time at a later date where we want this message to come back and like throw itself at the top of the list and be at the top of the importance thing. So it'll be at the bottom of the news until the 7 days comes up, and then it'll throw it to the top of the list again, which is a really great way to ensure that we're following up with our chats with people. If they say, hey, I need a couple of days to decide this, you can just hit postpone 3 days, and then it will remind you that you need to send them a message within 3 days. Okay, so really, there are more things to LAdesk. This calls section, so you can see active calls. And when people call you, they'll get put into a queue, and or if you're not available for too long, they'll be able to leave a message. The message states that if they do not leave you a message, calls will not be returned. We're not in the habit of returning missed calls. If people are interested in the service, they're interested in the service. So in general, this is an email solution. Okay, this is where all of the company's sales tickets are going to be dumped into. Okay, this is a phone solution. Okay, to make calls, remember I hit this new call button here. Okay, so I can call out and receive calls, so it will ring on the device that you have it open in. There is a mobile app. The phone component of it is not active yet, but it should be within the next 2 or 3 weeks. But in general, the phone is answered through a desktop type device, which could be left open and just checked periodically. And if you had speakers, the phone would ring through the speakers. I suggest getting a headset, either a USB or some type of nice Bose ear set, something that's comfortable for you, that allows you to talk to people using the computer. As I said, the phone and the chat and the email are currently available on the mobile app, so you can be available on either of those two things via the phone. The phone component on the phone is the one that we're still working on, but we should hopefully have shortly. Okay, you can edit your personal profile here. Okay, this is calls that you're receiving from the sales department. So if you click this off, now you're not getting any phone calls. If you turn this on, you'll get the phone calls to this department when people call the sales department and are looking to sign up or have questions about our services. Okay, the same thing for the chats. While I have this open, now I'm receiving chats, okay, for the sales department. And if I click this off, I'm no longer receiving chats for the sales department. Okay, this is a summary of my tickets and allowing me to get tickets for the sales department as well. if I go into the dashboard here, I can see which agents are online. I can see all the agents that are currently in the system, okay? If another agent is logged in online, I'll have the option. There's a little button that appears here that will let me chat with them. I can call them. I can do many things, okay? And this will track and give you a general idea about how much time you're spending and working within the system. There's a bunch of other characteristics you can play around with if you're interested and you've built up some data within the system to find out what's going on. Okay, so this is the dashboard. These are the email and tickets. These are the chats. These are the phone calls. Okay, this is the new button that opens up any of the ticket internal and external tools, along with the phone system. And that is effectively the way that you will receive incoming communication from clients. And simultaneously, you can be inside your portfolio on ONsitePS.com, walking tenants and owners through this onboarding sign-up contract process. And if necessary, i.e. an owner's unable to figure it out, you can create, like completely sign out, create a new account, right, from scratch, and then as you need to edit and do their things, you can work as that owner within their system to make sure that all their stuff is the way that it should be and completely populated. Then switch back to your own user view to help and assist other owners in the process. So if you have any questions about the sales agent, the sales representative tools on the ONsitePS.com website, or you have questions about the LAdesk tool, please just give Nick a call. Thanks so much for watching.